So the first thing we're going to do is remove the track rod end on both ends. Remove the steering damper. We're just removing the split pin from the drop arm ball joint. And once that's out, we can take the bolt off, and that'll free up the steering damper. So you're just going to release the seal on there, yep. So the heavy duty track rod is a fair bit shorter, but you have to allow for the locking nuts to go either end. Okay, so you're going to be using the same track rod end, but just to give you an indication of how much thread you get on the actual track rod, there is a lot on there, so there's plenty of thread inside. The bar's actually threaded down to about here, so we'll just actually have some exposed threads, but we'll be able to set it up to the same length anyway. So we're going to be removing the track rod end here. We have to loosen these off and then unscrew that, and that's going to be going in the new heavy duty track rod. But first we need to measure the distance. To make it easy for ourselves, we'll measure the distance between this point and this point, so we've got it the same, and then it should just drop straight into position. 920 millimetres. Yep. So just loosening those clamps so that we can then unthread the track rod end. Then a little tap with a hammer. Right, that just breaks it free if it's seized. If you're not fitting these heavy duty track rods from QT, you'd actually count the number of rotations that you unwind the track rod end by, so that you can then do the same when you're reinstalling it, and that maintains the length as it was previously. You've got left and right hand threads on those track rod ends, so you need to make sure that you've got the right end of the new heavy duty track rod. Yeah, we're just going to put a little bit of copper slip on there, obviously because it's we don't want it to seize inside. So checking you've got the correct nut, because they're obviously left and right hand thread. You thread your locking nut onto the track rod end first. So we need to separate the other end from the track rod now, in the same way. So you'll notice there that that's a reverse thread on there. Reverse thread, so anti-clockwise. So just make sure you've got your track rod end facing downwards, and then at the other end the bracket needs to be sitting upwards. We now need to make sure we've got the distance correct. We're just going to nip them up gently, then once it's actually on the vehicle we can do them tighter. So remembering that you've got left and right hand threads on these, you need to now lock them down using the lock nuts on there, but obviously you don't want to extend the bar because you'll adjust your steering, so you need to make sure you've got that correct. So regardless of the fact that we're replacing the drag link, we've actually got to remove the drag link anyway to fit new radius arms, so obviously that plate has to come off and the drag link has to come off.
Okay.
Yep. So just tapping those open a little bit to allow the radius arm to slot in nice and easy.
Big washer on. And a new nut.
So as you can see, we've got the new radius arms in position and they're putting a lot less strain on those bushes at the back. We've fitted the poly bushes all round. We're now going to fit the drag link into position, and then once that's done, we're going to fit the diff guard, which replaces the original bracket that sat on the diff itself. So we're going to do that now. So we've got a new QT diff guard to fit and try out. And you can see it's very sculptured again to match. It looks like it's going to be a nice fit. We'll give that some stick as well and hopefully see how it performs.